Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful looking bug hotel. Now it's really important that we try and provide habitats for wildlife to be able to get cosy and snuggle up over the winter time so they stay and give us the benefits of them come springtime. So that's what I'm going to do, a lovely bug hotel. It's going to look very nice. And I'm making it out of old pallet. Now I know old pallet doesn't look very nice, but you can see I've kind of taken an end section of an old pallet. I just used a saw and I've chopped it all along the pallet sections here, and I've kept these. These are the bits that I really want. They're going to give me the solid structure to my bee hotel, my bug hotel. So it did look like this, and I have painted one black. So it just looks a little bit more contemporary, and when it's planted up with things, it will look, it'll look really attractive. So this is my black frame, and I'm going to attach to it some chicken wire because I want the chicken wire to create a back. That means nothing's going to fall down the back. That's not what we want. So I'm going to turn it over and cut my chicken wire to length. Now it can be a little bit sharp, so if you're doing this project with children, maybe you want to take over and do this bit. So I'm just going to measure it because I want to be able to staple it down that side and down the other side. So check the width, and then once you're happy with that, it's just a matter of cutting to the required length. Now if you don't have chicken wire, you could use a bit of plastic trellis if you've got that hanging around, or even a bit of waterproof fabric, something, or a weed membrane, that would work well too. So don't be limited by your materials. Now most bees, bumblebees, are actually solitary, so they don't live in a hive like honeybee does. They live in their own little burrow, so they will find homes in empty stems of things, or they will burrow into the ground and sleep in the ground, believe it or not, which is incredible. So now I have my chicken wire cut to length. And I'm going to use my stapler just to firmly attach that in place. Now if you don't have a staple gun like this, you could just use a hammer and little U-shaped tacks. They would work perfectly well. So the idea is that that will hold in the contents and it will hang like this. So next up, I've got a little bit of weed membrane. Again, you could use plastic sheeting if you have anything like that, and I'm just going to pop that in, and that's going to hold any compost that I put in there, because I do want to put some plants in here too, and it'll save the compost falling out the back. Now to fill this, you can fill it with absolutely anything you like. I've been collecting things from the garden for a good couple of weeks now. I've got this beautiful artichoke flower, which I thought something would rather like to live in. I know I would if I was a bug. It's beautiful. So I'm going to pop that in. I've also got some empty stems. This is Angelica that was in flower last summertime, and these are brilliant for things to crawl into and hide inside. I've also got some bits of bamboo, some other bits of grass that I've chopped up. So I've been saving all kinds of things, and it's just a matter of packing it full with things and nooks and crannies and moss and making it look very inviting, so lots of creepy crawlies will come and live in it. Other things I've got are bits of terracotta tile, which I had spare, and an air brick. Now these are brilliant because they've already got these little holes, so I'm going to smash that up into a couple of pieces and pop some of that in there as well. So I think I'll do that first. I'll do. And now I've got my smashed bits of air brick. I'm going to jam those into position. Now the nice thing about this is you can be as creative as you like. There's no kind of right or wrong when you're doing this. And then I've got lots of bits of tile. Now you can make these, you don't have to make hanging ones, you can make them for the ground. You can make them out of just a stack of pallets if you wanted to, and fill all in and amongst the stack of pallets with things that you find in and around the garden. So now I've got those little pockets there, I'm going to put in a plant or two. And I've got a sedum, which is this one here, which gets a lovely yellow flower on it and will attract insects. And it's an alpine plant, so alpine plants are really happy with very little soil. If you think of the growing conditions, they would grow on the side of a mountain, be really exposed, hardly anything to grow out of, so they'll be very happy growing in here, and they stay nice and small as well. My next plant in, which is this saxifrage or saxifraga, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And I thought the colour looked particularly wonderful against the black there, so I'm going to squash that one in. Now you can also fill these with pine cones, things like that work really, really well. So I think the next thing I'm going to put in is this beautiful artichoke. And I'm just going to push that in. There you go, make sure it's not squishing anything too much. Moss. Squeeze that in amongst. Oh, it's looking good. I mean, if I were a bee, I'd definitely want to stay in this hotel. Okay, so that's the bottom section done, this section. Now to fill up the rest. And then I'm just going to continue filling little bunches of material. Okay. I'm going to use my moss to fill that out. I'm hoping, wouldn't it be lovely if we had a little wren or something? It's like the perfect place for a little wren to nest. And there we have it, a beautiful bee and bug hotel that will have your garden bursting with nature. Now, for any more how-to videos, visit jordanserials.co.uk or check out their Facebook and Instagram page.